today? Ask yourself this question. What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready! Let's go to the house! Let's go to the house! When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? It's hot now. It's hot now. Let's go. It's hot. We ready? Let's go to the house. Let's go to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, how we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up the chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from him. He's a man. He can be a hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. I'm proud of you step on the field, man. That's the whole idea. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We ready? Let's go to the house. Let's go to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
Now, this game is not over. We are rolling right here on the lunch break on the Legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It's Team Texas Tuesday. I got a few special guests going to be joining me today. Real excited about that. And what a game last night. Did anybody else see that? What a game last night on Monday Night Football. Boy, I tell you what, Cleveland is for real. Baltimore is for real. Baker Mayfield is better. And Lamar Jackson is the real deal. And don't you dare hit me. Yeah, but he only threw the ball 11 times. They scored 47 points. And none of them without what they have been able to get without Lamar Jackson. So, you know, again, for you stat hounds, I am probably more of a stat hound than you. And even I know that sometimes the game goes beyond the numbers. Sometimes it's not what you see in the numbers, it's what the numbers up on the scoreboard. What a game. What a game. And then for Lamar Jackson to have to leave the game with cramps, y'all are funny. The internet is funny. Twitter is hilarious. Keith, I'm with you. That is probably the best game of the year. Best game of the year. For a minute, I had the DeAndre Hopkins Hail Mary catch. That might be the best play of the year, but best game of the year, yeah, it might be that one right there. Right now, that's my number one. So, what a game. What a game. Yeah, Lamar Jackson goes off with cramps for the better part of the fourth quarter, and Twitter is hilarious. They had Lamar in the restroom. They pulled up a scene from White Chicks, which I absolutely love. One of my favorite movies of all time. And it was hilarious. It was hilarious. And then Lamar comes back in when his backup quarterback goes down with a knee injury. We're praying for him. Hope everything goes well for him. But then Lamar leads them to a touchdown and to what proved to be the game-winning field goal. And then Baltimore picked up a safety on that. You know, let's lateral it and throw it around and flip it and twist it and what have you. What a game. What a game. I like that one. I like that one. That one right there. And I watched most of it, Keith. You can relate with this. I watched most of it without any sound. You know why? No way in the world I was going to let one guy ruin that game for me. So, yeah, that one was a good one. Gina Fleming, my black and gold sister, thank you for the happy belated birthday love. I mean it when I say for all of y'all that sent me birthday love, are sending me birthday love, or intend to send me birthday love. I thank you. I thank you. I mean, really. I can't thank you all enough. It means a lot when people take time to say nice things about you and to send a little love and positivity your way. You know, again, I confessed my truth yesterday. There's some folks that didn't hear it and are a little salty with me today because I didn't respond the way that they wanted to. I didn't hang out with them the way they wanted to, but I'm a little different on my birthday. I'm a little, the introvert in me really comes out around my birthday. It's nothing personal. It's all me. All right, let me take a quick break. We'll be back with more right after this on the lunch break.
Hi, my name is Lily. My mom and dad used to fight about money all the time. Then one day, I heard them talking about this guy, some uncle I never knew, called Uncle Sam. Well, they say this Uncle Sam guy wanted them to pay him like $1 gazillion, and they didn't have $1 gazillion. So they called this company they heard on the radio called the Tax Doctor. And the Tax Doctor worked with Uncle Sam's people. I think they're called the IRS. And they were able to work it out so my mom and dad didn't have to pay Uncle Sam very much money at all. So now mom and dad are happy, and I'm happy too. Thanks, Tax Doctor.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, call now and pay less. 800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. That's 800-603-9359. Here's an important COVID-19 school system update for your local area. If you're concerned about your child's education, please pay close attention to this message. The current school systems were not set up for at-home learning. If you're worried that your child may not be getting the grades they need to get ahead, may be losing self-confidence, or you're worried about them getting into a good college because of their grades, help is available to you. Call Grade Potential Tutoring. They can help with in-home or online tutoring and help your child with any subject and every grade level, even for test prep. They're experts in the home tutoring and online tutoring field and confident they can help you and your child get better grades today. Call now for your free consultation. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. That's 800-580-7680.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's AJ Jones with the lunch break on the legendary KYOK AM 1140 and 92.3 FM. It's that time of year when we are reminded of all the things we should be thankful for, and that it's more blessed to give than to receive. So with that in mind, on Wednesdays from now through Christmas, we'll give you a chance to win a gift certificate from Butterball. That's right, you can win a gift certificate for a Butterball turkey on Wednesdays on the lunch break between 12 and 2. Just be the right caller, and your Butterball turkey will be on us at the legendary KYOK AM 1140 at 92.3.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who've helped people that have been injured or wronged. Have you been diagnosed with cancer? Are you one of the millions who have taken Zantac or other generic versions of this popular drug to help treat stomach issues? Then pay close attention to this message. The FDA said it detected low levels of a probable cancer-causing chemical known as NDMA in Zantac and other generic forms of this popular drug. They've banned sales and even removed it from the market. If you've been diagnosed with cancer and you've taken Zantac or a generic equivalent, call the legal helpline now. You could receive a free cash award and have your medical expenses covered. And there's no upfront cost to you. They only get paid if you win. So please call now. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. That's 800-251-7816.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legend continues.
Now let's get back to the lunch break with AJ on the legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM.
All right, y'all, we got special guests going to be joining the show in just a little bit, but I had to get back to this game. Gina Fleming, what blows my mind is the Steelers are what? They got 2 losses, and folks are already dropping them down in their various power rankings like they're just horrible. Like they're the Jets. Like you know, we're talking about the Steelers like we're talking about the Jets. I mean, come on. They've got 2 losses, and one of them is to a very good team. You know, it's to a very good team. Buffalo is good. I don't like to admit it. I'm not a fan of their coach, but Buffalo's all right. Steelers, they got beat. But to drop them down as if they are just, you know, garbage is crazy. Real quick to finish off the game from last night, 47-42 was the final score. The Cleveland Browns had 493 yards of total offense. Baltimore had 385. Passing yards, Baker threw for 355. Lamar threw for $176. And rushing yards, though, that's where Baltimore turned it on. Baltimore turned it on, 231 rushing yards. Cleveland, who was the number 1 rushing team in the league, right with Tennessee, they had only had 138. You know, being a Texan fan, to only say 138 is just, it's mind-boggling. But Lamar Jackson, again, threw for 163, a touchdown and no interception, but he also ran for 124 and 2 touchdowns. So he accounted for 287 yards of offense and 3 touchdowns. That's why don't come at me with, oh, he only threw the ball 17 times. He only had 11 completions for 163 yards. 287 yards total offense, 3 touchdowns. How'd your quarterback do? How'd your quarterback do? Real quick, run me them stats right there. Run me those stats right there, real quick. I'm waiting. I can't hear nobody. Baltimore, good win. They're now a game behind Cleveland in the standings. As far as the playoff standings go, the Ravens are tied with Miami for that last playoff spot, but Miami holds the tiebreaker. If the playoffs started today, Kansas City would be the number 1 seed at 12-1. Pittsburgh, you know, the team that's all of a sudden sorry now, nobody has any faith in. They are second at 11-2. Buffalo third at 10-3. Tennessee fourth at 9-4. Cleveland fifth at 9-4. Colts sixth at 9-4. And right now it would be Miami in that 7th spot at 8-5. The Ravens are tied with them at 8-5. Raiders still in it, 7-6. Patriots ain't out of it, 6-7, and I'll stop there. Over on the NFC side, Packers are the number 1 seed, 10-3. Saints, after that ugly loss to Philly, they're 10-3 at number 2. Number 3, the Rams, surprisingly, at 9-4. Number 4, the football team from Washington. They are 6-7. And then at number 5, you got Seattle 9-4. At 6, you got Tampa Bay 8-5. And then at 7, you've got the Cardinals at 7-6. The Vikings and the Bears are both 6-7 right behind them. So there you go. That's your football roundup. I got to get ready to take a break because I got a phenomenal record-setting power lifter coming up on my show next. And I'm hyped, and it looks like her coach is on here too. So we about to go beast mode, powerlifting, record-setting. They ain't doing this nowhere else on nobody else's show but the lunch break on the legendary KYOK. Run tell that. I'll be right back right after this break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. If you want to get in with my special guest, hit me up, 281-453-1000. That's 281-453-1000. It is the lunch break. All right, let me get y'all on. Taylor, I'm going to put you here next to me. Mr. Trump, I'm going to put you right there. Can y'all hear me? Let's do a mic check.
Yeah.
Taylor, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Good. Mr. Brown, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. All right, y'all, we good to go. Stand by. Take a quick break, okay?
Important COVID-19 school system update for your local area. If you're concerned about your child's education, please pay close attention to this message. The current school systems were not set up for at-home learning.
Where are you going,
if you're
Taylor?
worried that
Taylor,
your child may
I gotta let my dad know.
maybe losing self-confidence, or you're worried about them getting into a good college because of their grades, help is available to you. Call Great Potential Tutoring. They can help with in-home or online tutoring and help your child with any subject and every grade level, even for test prep. They're experts in the home tutoring and online tutoring. Be confident they can help you and your child get better grades. Call now for your free consultation. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680.
I need a shirt, Coach.
That's 800-580-7680.
I need a shirt, Coach. I need to be Team Beastmode.
You need one? I get you what I need.
Health and safety
XL.
when planning family gatherings. Make up
Until you knock some of this holiday weight off me and get me down to a large.
many free testing sites in the city.
I don't want to do it,
Wear
Coach.
your mask.
I was an athlete in college. I don't want to work out no more. Pray for me, Coach.
Got you.
Time together with peace of mind. Protecting our loved ones is the most important thing for all of us. Mask up, Houston. We're better together.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM.
I got one more after this.
The
One more after
legendary
this.
KYOK 92.3 FM. Radio stations in one.
I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So
Last one,
Christian
y'all
Me
stand
Show.
by.
Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian Me Show right here on the legendary KYOK Radio 1140 AM and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
All right, y'all, we are back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones, and we going worldwide, y'all. We going worldwide. For those who are listening to us all over the country, we appreciate you. I'm about to introduce you to two people you're going to want to know. First of all, we're going to introduce y'all to Taylor Graham. Taylor is a record-setting power lifter. And Taylor, tell everybody how old you are, first of all.
I'm 19 years old.
19 years old. What high school did you attend?
I went to Davis in the Aldine district.
Davis in the Aldine district. And then you got connected with a man by the name of Charles Brown. Brother Brown, tell us who you are and what you do.
Charles Beastmode Brown. And I am a coach and basically a mentor to a lot of kids in the Aldine Independent School District.
Y'all won't believe we're broadcasting right now from our studios that are right up the street from Aldine High School. We're right here off of 45 and Greens Road. So we're right here in the neighborhood, you know.
Right.
What's up? So, Taylor, you got to tell us, how did you get into powerlifting of all things?
Well, I met him going into my freshman year of high school. He worked in my middle school, so he pulled me in track and basketball because that's what I did in high school. So my junior year, a competition came along, and he was like, "You're going to do this." So it was more so of he knew what I could do, so he put me in the right category to do what I need to do. And first competition, I was nervous, and after that, I ended up loving it.
Wow. Wow. Now, wait a minute, Coach. You got to tell us, what did you see in her, given that she was running track and playing basketball, that let you know she could be a power lifter?
Well, she was a little bit stronger than some of the people that I've trained previously. And I just seen something else. I said, man, this girl's strong. And she didn't know she was as strong as she was. And especially with the events that I had her doing, which was the deadlift. But I was just like different stuff that I seen her do. I was like, okay, she's strong. And, she was like, man, I'm not strong. I said, no, you're strong. And once I taught her the mechanics of the deadlift, I mean, the rest was history. It was just like I said, oh yeah, I knew she was strong. There's certain things that I see people do that I could say, oh yeah, this is what you need to do. And she, told her dad about it and her mom, and they was like, okay, coach, we're gonna trust you. The rest is history.
Now, Taylor, what was that experience like, telling your mom and dad? Did you have any convincing to do to get them to let you do something like powerlifting?
Well, my mom and them have always believed in me. So middle school, I did every sport they offered. Basketball. I went from volleyball to basketball to track, then to soccer. Thing I've done, it's always been natural. I've always picked up on it easy. So when I told them, I was like, hey, Brown want me to do powerlifting. And she was like, well, what specifically? I said deadlifting. She was like, well, what is it? When I let her know, she was like, okay, go ahead, because usually you good at everything you do. So when they gave him the okay, it's history after that.
She said the rest is history. All right, real quick, let me put your auntie in check. Hey, Kelly, it's my show. I'm running the interview. Thank you for the suggestions on the questions. Get your show back and you run the show. Man, I've been friends with your auntie for a long time. She and I go way back, so I'm a big fan. Don't mind us. We just do what we do. All right, so Coach, getting her under your wing, what was the game plan from there? And how hard was it to teach her the mechanics and all that of powerlifting?
Man, it was real easy. She took to it like a duck to water. Basically, like I say, she had to get her grip strength together, and like I said, she definitely had a strong back because I'm always making them work back. But her legs, I had to activate those legs, get those hips and glutes involved in the lift. And what I did was once I showed her the mechanics of it, and showed her that, like I say, in the deadlift, I taught them that on the bench press, when you pull the bench out, you get to feel the weight. When you do the squat, you get to feel the weight. With the deadlift, it's coming from a dead spot. So when you pull, you got to pull with speed and with aggression. So I told her she have to get her aggression up if she want to pull big weight. And then, like I say, she ended up doing it. And like I say, when we did it at the competition, she shocked her mom and everybody because I think her dad was out of town. They was, had him on a link where he can see it, and he just was floored by it because it's like, she's only weighing like 132. In her first competition, she lived 275 pounds. He was like, she did what? I mean, he couldn't believe it because it's like, that's some big numbers, and she's a girl, but it's like, I had all the mechanics of her legs and everything engaged, and she had her aggression up. And like I said, once she did the first lift, it's like she got into a zone. It's like she walked up to the weight, and for no reason at all, she yelled lightweight. She yelled out lightweight. And I looked at her like, what the what? Because I never heard her get vocal. She lightweight, and she pulled it. And I was like, okay, she's in the zone now. It's like after she got them bugs out, she was like, man, I'm here to have some fun. It's like because the crowd got behind her, and it's like she just got in the zone, and then, hey, the rest is history now. Now she loved it.
Man, we want to let everybody know we've got Taylor Graham. She is a record-setting power lifter joining us here from the Aldine School District. And also Charles Beastmode Brown. He's her coach. He's also joining us as well. Taylor, what made you walk up to that weight and say, lightweight?
That's just the beast mode thing. If you don't holler lightweight before you finna do something phenomenal, then you're not part of the crew.
Yeah, and I've taught them that the mind, I say, if it's anything that I coach, I like to coach your willpower. That it's nothing that you can do. Nothing is impossible. But if you think that it's heavy, then it's going to be heavy. So I say, in my years of powerlifting, every weight that I've ever lifted, I've always said lightweight. Now afterwards, I was like, that felt light, but then you look at it like, man, that was some weight,
Right.
But I don't see it's in your mind, whatever you believe, that it's unto you as you believe. So I teach that. So I don't care how heavy the weight, it's always lightweight. I say I've never seen heavyweight. I've always seen lightweight. Always.
Coach, before we go back to Taylor, go ahead and let us know what the different categories are in powerlifting competitions.
All right. First, you have the squat. Second, you have the bench press, and last you have the deadlift. And like I said, with the squat, like I said, you put the bar on your back and you squat not parallel, you squat below parallel. Is what they do, in powerlifting. And they have 3 commands, squat, and they say squat, begin, squat, rack. The same thing with bench press, it's with a pause. They say start, press, rack, and then the deadlift they just say, go, and then you go, and then they say put the weight down or whatever. So like I say, with powerlifting, I believe the true test of strength is the deadlift. Everybody want to say, when they first see you and they know you lift weights, hey man, what's your bench? Your bench is not the true test of strength. Deadlift is the true test of strength because that's all of your muscles engaged into one lift. Your grip, your back, your butt. I mean, everything is involved when you deadlift. Everything. That's the true test of strength is the deadlift.
Now, Taylor, for you, what's your favorite one of those events, and what's your least favorite?
My favorite is deadlift. My least favorite is bench. I don't like the bench. No matter if we just working out with it or anything, I hate it. So that's my weakest part of my body is my arms. My legs are the strongest because I ran track. So I worked on my legs all the time. So deadlift just came natural to me and it was easy and it's fun because you don't know what the weight feels like.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a mystery every time you add something on there.
Right.
No matter if it's 1 wheel, 2 wheels, 3 wheels.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
And it's nothing like doing it where you walk in the gym and you see somebody like her and the guys get intimidated like, I know she's not going to do that. There's 3 wheels on there and she do it. They be like, are you serious?
It's been so many times that's happened. Like when new people come in and they don't know who I am, or if somebody been there for a while and they haven't seen me, in his gym he has fat heads of everybody who has records. So they'll look up at it and they're like, oh, is that you? I'm like, yeah. They're like, oh, what did you do? I said, full records, a couple. And then on a deadlift day, if they come in there, they see it and they be like, wow, you lift that? How much was that? That ain't nothing but about 285. Oh, nothing but 300.
Yeah.
Everybody just be so shocked. I love it. Taylor said he's sleeping on me, so I got to put him to bed. We got He is a record-holding power lifter. We've got also our coach, Charles Beastmode Brown, joining us here for Team Texas Tuesday on the lunch break. Taylor, tell us about these records. What records do you hold? What level are these records on? And what was your mind frame when you broke these records or set these records?
So my first time lifting, it was sometime in September, my junior year. So that was about 3 years ago when I first started. And there was nobody in my weight class, in my division, in my age group. So I was going against nobody but myself. And for the past 3 years, it's been the exact same way. So your worst enemy is always going to be yourself.
Okay.
So that's what he's taught me, and that's who I battle is myself all the time. So when I set the first one, I was like, oh, okay, I can do this. And then my first competition, I set the first record, then I broke the record at the same competition. Then the next time I did it, I was like, okay, I already know what I'm chasing. Broke that record. I was like, wow, this is actually a thing that people do when I'm doing it. So it's a good feeling to know that somebody my age and from this area and being in Houston, and it being so big and there's so much stuff going on, that one small thing can mean a lot. So
I'm sitting here with my mouth open, 19 years old. You know, she talked about my junior year about 3 years ago, and setting records. Coach, now are these national records? Are these world records? Are these, you know, in you all's league records? Tell me about that.
She actually holds world records, and like I said, in my gym, I always tell people the thing that you want to do in my gym is you want to make the wall. We always say make the wall, because everybody that's on the wall have did great things. And like I said, when I opened up my gym last year, that's what I did. You know, I got some fat heads, and they made the wall. They came in, they just was blown away with it because they made the wall. But she actually holds, I think right now, sitting at, I want to say at least 2 world records right now. And then we just had a competition this Saturday where she set another national and state record. So I mean, she just keeps breaking them, and it's like, to see it, it's like, even her mom them say, you know, when you see it, it's like it's phenomenal. I had one of the parents say, I've never been to one this is interesting, because you don't think that they're about to do what they're about to do. Like they say, okay, Taylor is about to try, you know, 303 pounds on the deadlift, and you look at her like, that's 303 pounds, and that's a girl. How can she do that? And then when she did it, she set the weight down and then did her chest like this, like lightweight, you know, and everybody like, oh my God, like really? I mean, you don't think that you would see that, but it's like, it's amazing to watch somebody do what they do. You know, that's 2 times, almost 3 times her body weight.
Yeah, Taylor Graham is a world record power lifter, and 19 years old, right here from this area in Greens Point and Aldine School District area. And I mean, Taylor, what's that feel like? We talk on this show a lot about championship mentality. And I'm trying to get these Texan fans to understand they got to have championship mentality. I'm trying to get these Rocket fans to understand you got to have championship mentality. Let me go one more further. I'm trying to get these Astro fans to know you can do it without cheating, but you got to have championship mentality.
Right.
Where does that championship mentality come from for you?
My coach, he's always told me to humble myself. Don't gloat, none of that, because the best thing for people to see is something that they're not going to expect. They look at me, oh, she ain't going to do nothing. She's not going to lift 300-something pounds. Maybe she got a 250 in her, and she going to struggle on it.
Yeah. And then they'll look at her like, you know, she's a girly girl. You know, she's pretty, she's cute. You know, they might think that, you know, you have to be burly, you know, real muscular. No, she's just a regular little girl. And they walk up like, that girl ain't finna do that. And we do it all the time at the gym. And she do it, they be like, man, she don't even look like she can lift like that. I know how to make, you know, I know how to make you be strong and still be a lady, if that makes any sense. You know, she can, you know, because people work out and think you're going to be all bulky and all that. No, Taylor is still a girl at the end of the day. You know, I can make her like that if she needed to be, but I know how to train people to make them be what they want to be. If you want to be real muscular, I can make you real muscular. If you just want to be strong, I can make you strong without, you know, having all those bulky muscles. And she's a prime example, because she don't look like what she can do. She really don't.
Yeah. I'll come in after work with lashes on, earrings, everything. And they just be sitting there like,
be killing the game.
She's not gonna do anything.
Killing the game.
Taylor said, don't let the smooth taste.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I love it. Hey, listen, we got to get ready to take a break. I got a little bit of time. Taylor, give me an idea of what your normal workout is to get ready for a competition. What do you do, and what do you have to do?
So we go through training cycles. Mondays, we usually do back. Tuesdays is squat day and leg day. So after we go heavy on squats, we go straight to legs. Leg extensions, leg press, hamstring curls, lunges. Wednesday is back or arms, depending on what you want to do. Thursday is deadlift day, and that's all we do is leg lift. And Friday, we focus on stretching, and we hit legs again. And Saturday and Sunday is your rest day. Then Monday, it repeats.
You do your rest day. Okay. All right. What's the diet like? What do you eat when you're training for a competition?
Me personally, I eat whatever I want. I don't have a diet,
She
and
get
I
away
can
with that.
eat.
She got youth on her side.
Yeah, but I can say I cut a lot of the junk food and sweets out of my diet when
Okay.
I got out of high school because I don't like it anymore. Not like that. I'll eat it every now and then, but for the most part, I just cut it out of my diet. But it don't help because I work at a cookie shop, so I'm always eating something.
That's outstanding. Again, we got Taylor Graham. She's a world record holder in powerlifting. We got our coach, Charles Beastmode Brown, joining us. And Coach, real quick for you, um, is there anything that you try to push her more on during her workouts leading up to competition, or is she one of those athletes that you really don't have to push her? She's kind of self driven.
Yeah, I have to push her different times because uh put it like this, she has had in her journey so far uh times where she might be just a little complacent because she knows she's good, and
Got
she
it.
might be like, well, she might not train as hard, or might be like, I'm just going to just do this set, I'm just do two of these, and then she might start talking or kind of kicking it with somebody, whatever, like, hey y'all, we in a training cycle, come on man, let's get this work. But it's like it don't take much for me to tell her to get back focused and do that. And it's like as we get closer to the competition, she hones in because she knows she wants to put on a good show. So she's like, okay, let me stop playing. Hey man, I can't even be talking to y'all now. Let me go ahead and get focused. But it's like because she knows she's good, and it's like she knows she can get away with. She's naturally strong now. It's like she's like, I'm maybe kick it for a second, and I'm like, nah, we're in the training cycle. Let's finish this up. And once we finish it up and go there, she'll go there. At different times, where she'll be like, when she knows she does something wrong, she goes back to the basics. Okay, coach, what did I do wrong? It's like she know she kind of got off of focus. I said, I was just telling you to focus. You're not focused. And once she says that, she knows. Okay, let me stop playing. Let me get, because she don't like to be embarrassed. She really don't like that. And like I said, she had a time where the lift wasn't what she wanted it to be, so she had to come back to me and get focused. When she got focused, she dug in and she got the lift. But it's like she know how to go there. It's like when she decides, okay, now let me get serious. Let me go and get focused. Because she do not like being embarrassed. I say, you ever see the
Mm-mm.
eyes, and if she blinked, that tear drop, that's when you know you got her. I
Got
have to take her to that. Like I said, oh no, don't cry now. I said, get focused. Let's go. When I tell her that, oh, she gonna give it to me every single time.
Yeah, we got to take a quick break. We're going to come back with a world record holder, Taylor Graham, in the powerlifting, sport of powerlifting. Also, we got our head coach, Charles Beastmode Brown, joining us as well. We're going to get into some more. Please call your auntie and tell her to leave us alone. We're trying to have over here. And she just, my goodness, she wants us to ask you who designed your outfit and all that kind of stuff. Call your auntie and answer those questions for her, please. We'll be right back after this on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all new 92.3 FM. This segment is brought to you by our sponsor, the Care Team. If you don't have medical insurance, you know you need it. Listen up. These folks can help you right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
Hello, my name is Margaret, and I'm not a paid actor. I'm simply a very satisfied customer that has received good advice from the Care Team Insurance. Without the help from the Care Team, we would not have had health insurance. The Care Team has saved my daughter's life.
This is one of the many great results of Care Team's efforts. Don't get caught with bad or no insurance at all. Let Care Team assist you with our free enrollment assistance program. Call now, 281-990-1377. There are over 13 million people without medical insurance that should qualify for plans starting at $0 to $50 per month. Care Team has helped thousands of people just like you. This is AJ Jones, and KYOK listeners, I want you to call now and see what you qualify for at 281-990-1377. That's 281-990-1377, or visit careteamcares.com. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's AJ Jones with the lunch break on the legendary KYOK AM 1140 at 92.3 FM. It's that time of year where we are reminded of all the things we should be thankful for, and that it's more blessed to give than to receive. So with that in mind, on Wednesdays from now through Christmas, we'll give you a chance to win a gift certificate from Butterball. That's right, you can win a gift certificate for a Butterball turkey on Wednesdays on the lunch break between 12 and 2. Just be the right caller, and your Butterball turkey will be on us at the legendary KYOK AM 1140 at 92.3.
You're listening to
1140 AM and 92.3
Stand by,
FM.
y'all.
The legendary KYOK.
Lunch break crew. What's up?
What's up with it? We're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It is our Team Texas Tuesday, and we got a couple of folks representing the state in a major way. They got us on the worldwide scale talking about world record holder Taylor Graham and Coach Charles Beastmode Brown. And Taylor, I got to tell you, at what? So you said 3 years ago. So at 16, you were a world record holder at 16.
Yes.
Like for real, for real.
For real.
Like straight up. How you walk around changing classes, going from math to social studies to science, and you hold the world's record? Like for real, for real. What was that like?
Like a normal person. Everybody didn't know until I said something. So I think it was probably like the end of my junior year, and it was a competition we had to go to. So I had to tell my coaches I wasn't going to be here for this amount of time. And she was like, why? And I told her. She said, oh, so you've been in the weight room just playing around and not doing what you're supposed to do. So ever since then, I've never been able to cheat in the weight room at school.
I know that's right.
When I was. But walking around just knowing that that's what I do it's a normal everyday life. There's nothing that changes because nobody really holds you to it. It's like, oh yeah, you have something under your belt, but I'm not gonna hold you to it.
Taylor, you are amazing. I gotta tell Coach, she's amazing. Let me tell you why. She's so humble, and I love that because Doc, I would have had world champion on every piece of clothing. I would have had a tattoo world champion across my forehead. My name would be world champion AJ Jones. Did I mention I was a world champion?
Right.
Taylor, at 16, how did you get to be so humble like that?
I've always been like that. My parents raised me to be like that, so it's no reason for me to put myself out there. Ladies are supposed to be seen, not heard.
Okay.
Straight old school.
I've been running into the wrong ladies because none of them using that. Now, do you get a trophy? Do you get a medal? Do you get a plaque? What do you get?
I have a trophy for one. I have a medal for another. And I have a plaque for one that I just did.
Okay. All right. Because I would get a big old fat chain for the trophy, and I wear it right there. I would put the medal right here. The plaque would be, taped to my back like a Coach. Is she humble like that during workouts and everything? You say she do a little talking with some of the other folks on the team.
Oh yeah, that's why I say the coaches like at her school do just how I do. If you let her just kick it, she'll just kick it just cause she knows she's strong. And it's like she'll just be kind of just especially if it's bench day. I say, shit, what we doing today? We doing bench day. Oh man, I said she don't like that. So she gonna find a way to try to squeeze out of it. Just do just a couple of sets. Well, can I do squats? No, today it's bench day. So she'll have times where she kind of, she's not focused or whatever. But it's never where I just have, hey man, what did I just tell you? No, we don't do all that. But it's like she knows she has it, so she got a little swag about it because everybody's not as strong as her. So she was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna kick it for a little bit, and then different times in the gym, she'll decide, okay, we finna go ham, so she'll train with my big guys, they doing heavy squats, so she'll run in there with them, or she'll deadlift with them, and the guys in the weight room will be looking like, I know she's not finna lift that, because she's over there with all the big guys, and she right in there in the mix, it's
and
like
this is every day.
Yeah, every day.
They don't let you get away. They pull you in
every day. They pull 600 and above. They pulled me in, and I just,
She right there in the mix.
I love it. I love it.
It's like the little brother that's trying to hang with big brother.
I got you. I got you. I got you. Now, Coach, do you have other ladies that are on the team?
Oh yeah, man. Believe it or not, man, this competition was one that was so heartfelt, man. I had one chick that I invited just because I knew that it would help her spirit, and I've just been working on her. She has lupus, and she set a state and national record. I had another lady that had I think it's anemia. It's some different stuff that deals with her blood that has her weak or whatever.
Sure.
And I'm always talking into her spirit. He said, man, I got this issue with blood. And I was like, well, I know this lady in the Bible that had this issue with blood too. But I said, I know a blood that has power that would, so I'm talking that word on her.
Right.
She set a state and national record. So it's like, man, I had a guy that lost his son. He just was, expecting a child. He set a record. I mean, I got all these remarkable stories of persevering through the training camp and then still coming out victorious. So it was very emotional this weekend, man, with everybody being successful or whatever. But it's like I speak into their spirit through these weights, and different stuff be going on, and I'm always telling them to keep pushing on and this, that, and other. And like I say, the outcome was everybody was successful. Like I said, I took 12 down there. It was a competition of 100 competitors. All 12 of my people got first place. All 12 of them set state and national records. I just beat that record was like, I've never seen anything like this before in my life. And I'm like, well, I talking to their spirit, man, and they believe it. Like I say, they trust the process, and we came out victorious.
So you the Eddie Robinson of powerlifting.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So whatever the powerlifting Hall of Fame is, they cleaning that room right now to throw you up in there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I ain't mad at you. And I mean, strive for it, brother. I like that.
Right.
Taylor, I know you're 19, but I'm sure there are people that you have given advice to, or young people your age that they don't know nothing about powerlifting, but you might get a chance to encourage them, to go after what they're seeking after. What do you say to them?
Actually, I haven't encountered anybody my age or younger than me that wants to do it. Now, it is one girl that we brought along. She's 11. We have the same name. And this was her first competition. So she kind of tended to me. So at the competition, I'm like, it's going to be okay. It's nothing that you haven't did at the gym. You're going to be nervous, but once you get your first lift off, you're fine. Make sure you focus on your form. Just stay focused. And she was like, okay. She's so nonchalant about everything. She's like, okay. And we warming up.
How about real quick? Taylor said, oh yeah, she's so nonchalant about everything. Taylor, you are pretty nonchalant.
Yeah.
Game peep game, girl. Game peep.
Hey, and then the crazy part about it is Taylor is 11. This is her first competition, and she set a state and national record at 11 years old, lifting 198 pounds. Wow. That's insane.
All right, we got a young lady over in North Carolina right now, and she said, I want my granddaughters to get into this. What would you say to young girls or to their parents or grandparents who might be considering putting their young people in powerlifting?
Let them do it. It's fun. Like, it's going to be something that nobody expects them to do. Because you have all the basic sports, and it's just something that nobody pulls out their pocket. So enjoy it. Make sure they find a good coach, because all coaches aren't going to show you the correct form. They're not going to tell you how to do it. They're going to push you, but they're going to push you too hard to where you hurt yourself.
Right. One of the things you said earlier that stuck out with me, every weight is a mystery. No matter how wheels you put on, every weight is a mystery. And I think that's kind of exciting because, you just never know. And then when you accomplish it, man, that feeling, I guess that rush is just unimaginable.
Now, check out how I do it, AJ. So, like I said, you're a pastor. This is how I do it. What I do is nobody never knows the weight that I put on there. I just tell them, like God is with us. All I tell them, I will not put no more on you than you can bear.
Come on, brother. Come
I
on.
break it down to them. I say, I will not. So if I put it on you, I know that you can handle it. And like I say, everything that I'm speaking words. So when I tell them that, they believe it. I say, I will not put no more on you that you can bear. So when they, sitting down and they say, so what did you lift? I don't know. They said, what are you going to lift now? I don't know. But I know that coach ain't going to give me no more than I can bear.
Boy, you about to make me shout, man. You about to make me shout up in here.
It was so many people at the competition asking me, well, what's next? I'm like, I don't know.
They don't know.
How do you not know? My coach won't tell me.
Yeah.
Just know that I can do it.
I don't want it to be in your mind because I need you to understand and focus that if I gave you through it, then you can go through it. I need you just to understand that. So they for the people that lock in with it, it's unbelievable because it's like, and once you finally hear the number, you be in your mind like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. Yeah. But if you see it, it's something about these eyes. When you see it, you think you can't do it. If I say, Taylor, you're going for 315 pounds, you hear, you see it, you're like, man, I don't know. I don't need doubt to enter. Right. I need you just to trust the process. Right. I got you. I will not put no more on you than you can bear.
That's amazing. I hate to do it. We got to get ready to go. Taylor, tell everybody where they can find you and follow you and kind of keep up with your world record-setting career.
My Instagram is the name is Piggy. My Twitter is also the same. My coach is Beastmode on Instagram. Is it Beastmode?
Beastmode 2500 MG.
Yeah.
Beastmode 2500 MG. Got it. Mm-hmm. And Taylor, your Instagram is what again?
The name is Piggy.
The name is Piggy.
Piggy. So like Piggy. It's a childhood nickname.
I got it. I'm just like, you are amazing. You are. Mine would be the name is world record holder. You have really blessed us in ways we can't even imagine. Coach Beastmode Brown, man, bless you with all you're doing. We're going to put some information up about the gym and everything like that so folks can find you. I'll post up those Instagram handles, and we'll make sure we get some Facebook and lunch break love behind you. My folks travel deep, so they're going to be following you and trying to friend you and all that. So give them some love back because we want to know how you're doing in your career, Taylor. Coach, we want to know how you're doing with everybody you're training. And I think some people are going to be reaching out to you to find out how they can find you in their areas so that they can get their young people involved as well.
No doubt. Thank you for having us on.
I introduce to you world record holder, Taylor Graham, power lifter. I introduce to you her coach, Charles Beastmode Brown. Y'all, thank y'all for blessing us here on the lunch break. We family now. We family now. Mm-hmm. All right, now, Taylor, do me a favor. Go back through the comments on the stream and answer your auntie's questions because, that's you and her, okay? Listen, we love y'all. God bless you. Thank y'all for stopping through, okay?
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, y'all. We got to get Sybil Wilkes in real quick. She'll give us the latest in COVID-19. Of course, a lot is going on with COVID-19. So y'all stay right there. And then after that, we got another special guest that's going to be joining us. All right, let's get Sybil Wilkes right here. We'll be right back with more right after this on the lunch break.
Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know today. On the same day, the Electoral College voted and announced that Joe Biden will be the 46th president of the United States. The nation's top lawyer, William Barr, was relieved of his duties by the current president. Biden won the presidency with 306 electoral votes, and William Barr is out as Attorney General of the United States after finding no voter fraud. The General Services Administration is preparing for the Biden family and staff to settle into the White House. The cleaning is especially crucial as coronavirus cases and hospitalizations continue to surge. The first person to receive the COVID-19 vaccine in the U.S. was Sandra Lindsay. The African-American critical care nurse who treats patients in Queens, New York, was vaccinated during a live stream led by Governor Andrew Cuomo Monday morning. What you need to know is brought to you by Black Voters Matter. Join the movement and visit blackvotersmatterfund.org for more information. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.
You're listening to The Lunch Break with AJ on the legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break. I'm AJ Jones. Got to get my next special guest in just a second. But first, Monday Night Football might have produced the game of the year as Baltimore came from behind to beat Cleveland 47-42 after leading them 28-14 in the game. Reigning MVP Lamar Jackson returned to the game in the fourth quarter, threw a touchdown pass, and got them in place for the game-winning field goal. Again, great game. Both teams combined for 9 rushing touchdowns, and that broke a record set back in 1922. All right, y'all. We'll be right back right after this.
The legendary 1140 AM KYOK Conroe and 92.3 FM K222CX Houston.
The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the hosts, guests, and callers who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. I'm AJ Jones. It's our Team Texas Tuesday, and so glad to have two that are doing it on a big scale that we had in the last hour. Taylor Graham, world record holder, power lifter, and her head coach, Mr. Charles Beastmode Brown. And now we got another one, another one in my DJ Khaled voice. It is none other than Garrett Jones. What's going on, Big G?
Man, we working, man. Every day. It's getting a little bit closer to it, man. How about yourself?
Man, I'm doing well. I got to tell you, I kind of went all the way off yesterday on our Houston Texans, man. I was so disappointed by what I saw on Sunday because I said on Friday, if you can't beat a team, be the spoiler. Right. Go out there and just mess it up for everybody. Don't let you be the one that they circle, say, all right, we got that one, who's next? Right. And the Texans went out there and played like somebody circled them and said, okay, who's next? And it was disappointing, man. It was real disappointing. And, you know, I said, man, I got to get Garrett on, let him speak on it, man. What as a former player, as a general manager candidate, as a commissioner and a developer of a pro football league, man, what happens when you see a game like that?
Well, there's not enough veteran leadership in the locker room, to be honest with you. Every position's room needs to have at least one or two significant veterans in the room to show the youngsters how to do what they need to do. And that's showing up, that's being accountable, all those different things, because it's kind of like how I said earlier in a couple of our earlier interviews, man, there isn't much leadership, you know, in the organization right now when it comes down to football operations. So, you know, it's every man for himself. You know, they're trying to figure out, you know, what they can do, what they can't do. You know, guys really don't want to finish the season, all those different things. But, you know, when you are a professional, you have to conduct yourself as such. And there's just not enough veteran leadership, you know, in the locker room right now that can keep the guys going.
You know, again, we got Garrett Jones joining us here on the show. He's a candidate for general manager spot, prayerfully with the Houston Texans, if not definitely in the NFL. Right. And I just got to tell you, man, I was disappointed in Weaver. I was disappointed in Tim Kelly. I mean, where's the, you know, come on, I got to get myself together. I got to call a better game. Right. I got to put guys in a better position to make plays. And all we're hearing is the same old stuff that the former head coach and general manager said. Deshaun's holding the ball too long. That's why he got sacked 6 times. Deshaun is not, you know, throwing men open and stuff like that. I'm not seeing the same thing that they're seeing. I'm seeing bad game plans. You can't tell me that those guys were prepared for that game on Sunday.
Right. No, they weren't. You know, that was from top to bottom. You know, me being a former offensive lineman, you know, I watched the line all game, and I had a chance to watch them. They weren't communicating. Guys were on different levels, so they couldn't pass games off and stunts off. And, you know, and they just weren't playing to the echo of the whistle. So, like I say, that comes from having the right leadership in tow. And when you have games like that, it shows you that, you know, position coaches aren't necessarily ready to be head coaches. Or they aren't necessarily the leaders that are needed in the locker room and on the field. So that's what you saw. You saw a lot of disconnect. You saw a lot of guys kind of scrambling around. You saw guys just really want to just finish the game and finish the season. And once again, it's all predicated from the lack of leadership. Once we get the leadership in there that's needed and that culture is established and you bring the right head coach in that is a leader of men as well, man, we're just a couple of players away, and you'll see it'll be night and day. And that's what I've really been trying to educate people on it and expose them to how to really look at the game. Because we have a couple of guys that we need. And from there, man, and the right people, we can make some things happen.
So give me an idea of what you think we need. Because just for me, I'm like, you got to fix that offensive line again. You got to fix that secondary.
Right.
And there has to be a running attack. There is not a running attack that anybody is concerned about on the defensive side of the ball. What are you the man? Tell us what we need.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. It starts and ends with the offensive line. So your interior three are a priority. Just kind of looking at the cap and how that's structured right now and the guys that are in the building, there's going to have to be some trades that are going to have to be made. And we're going to have to get some guys in there that are physical, some guys that have a championship pedigree, and some guys that are veterans. That way they can get in and show these younger athletes how to do what they need to do and also keep Deshaun upright and open up the holes. I mean, and that'll happen once you get your interior three. I think on the tackles aspect of it, we're good. But it's all about, that continuity. And we have to have that in the interior three. They gotta feel like they can walk through hell with a water gun and come out on the better end of that deal. That's one of those deals.
For my listeners, the interior three, guards on both sides and the center. The tackles are pretty solid, but the guards on both sides and the center have got to be, those dogs, man. Have got to be those dogs, They
got to be. Right.
You're not going to get bull rushed back into the quarterback. You're not going to get faked out and somebody slide in your gap where you just left. You are going to be able to pass one man off to another and catch that late blitzer or stunt or what have you. And you're right, man. We haven't seen that in a while. Haven't seen that in a long while with this team.
Yeah, no, exactly. And then once you get that solidified, then we want to go to that secondary. So here's a caveat for you, man. Here's a curveball. I would approach Richard Sherman. I would approach Sherman about coming in and playing safety and allow him to be the quarterback on the defense.
Yeah.
And that way he can show and he can teach because he's a teacher. He's a smart guy. He's a teacher. Yeah. He can actually help these younger guys develop and they would be able to take up the slack for the younger guys that we would bring in from the draft on their D-line, right? All right. So, and then from there, let's go to the running game. What I would do is I would approach Leonard Fournette. And from there, and the reason I say that is because he's at a point where, we want to see where he is. He's at the bottom of the barrel when it comes down to what's going on in Tampa. So he has to play with a chip on his shoulder or he's going to fade away. But either way it goes, he's going to be a lot cheaper than the guys that we have on the roster right now. And he's a former number one pick. So he's had the wrong people pushing him in the wrong directions. And if you're going to be a good general manager and have a good coach, you're going to be able to get the best out of all these guys. And then you'll have a 1-2 punch between Fournette and Johnson. And then we'll be able to have that thunder and lightning combo.
Yeah. Now, you're talking about Duke Johnson, right? Not David Johnson.
Yeah. I'm talking about Duke.
Okay. All right. I heard a stat Sunday that blew my mind. I don't know how I missed that. I didn't know that Duke Johnson was the all-time leading rusher out of the U. And when you think about everybody that came out of the U for Duke Johnson to be the all-time leading rusher, I'm like, man, I don't think they're using him right.
At all. And that's what you have to play toward, your player strength. And that's what I mean by knowing your personnel. Yeah. These teams, and these coaches really do not know these individuals. They don't know anything about them other than, playing the football and playing the actual game itself. And then, you might have a few things that happen off the field. And now people think they know guys. No, it goes further than beyond, your social media aspects and those things. We will get to know each and every person in the building. And we will be able to now sit down with them and understand exactly what's going on in their home and vice versa. It's a family. And unfortunately, they got away from that. So we got to get back to that aspect of it.
Yeah, for those tuning in, we got Garrett Jones. He played NFL football with the Texans, a couple other teams in the league, played up in the CFL, started his own professional league. He's the commissioner and the founder of that. And now he's a general manager candidate, hopefully for the Texans. But if they don't come to their senses with this search committee, I pray that one of the other NFL teams do. And I ain't talking about assistant general manager either. I'm talking about the man running the show. We got him here on the show. And Matt, you bring up a good point about knowing your guys and your talent. When you said Leonard Fournette, there are a lot of folks that would be real ready to write Fournette off. Oh, yeah. But if you realize, what he did in Jacksonville with little or nothing under a guy who, when I tell you the game passed him by, if it ever had him, he got a chip, so I can't be mad at him. But to get him in the right place at the right time and spark that fire in him again, let him know you believe in him. Let him know you got a shot to be a intricate part of the team. We've seen that happen in other places. Why not here in Houston?
Absolutely. I mean, and that's what you got to look at. You can't necessarily just throw a person away because of where they've been. Right. It's kind of like a relationship. You come into a relationship and you're bringing that baggage with you from something that happened before this new person. No, you don't do that. And that's the situation. He hadn't had the right people around him. And I know that when I get the opportunity to be the general manager, I'll be able to talk to all these guys and connect with them because I am them. I have cousins and younger people in my family that are them. So I have a way to associate and I have a way to connect with them when other people don't. And you really got to look at, what would be at the head of this thing. I'm coming from that stock. I'm a former player, so I know what makes those guys tick. I know how to talk to them. And I also know how to be stern with him when that time is there. But ultimately, it was just the wrong crowd of people. The wrong leadership had him. And he has had to go through a lot of adversity, and he's trying to learn it, and he's trying to navigate it. So there's nobody there mentoring him. And that's exactly what I'll bring to the table when it comes down to this. It'll be a mentor-mentee relationship with all of these athletes.
And then when I see how these guys get these labels put on them, like Deshaun, he's holding the ball too long.
Right.
That's so crazy. I mean, if they don't want Deshaun, please let the A.J. McCarron era open right now and let folks feel what it feels like to have a quarterback like that versus a revolutionary quarterback like a Deshaun Watson. It's not fair when guys throw labels on some of these players because they don't want the spotlight put on them.
Right.
Tom Coughlin labeled, that young man, Leonard Fournette, and it was unfair. Bill O'Brien labeled Deshaun Watson, and it's unfair. How do you change those labels and give those guys another chance?
Well, you get rid of the labels. It's just like with Tom Coughlin. He cut me for being on time to a meeting, right? So those guys have to understand that is just the dynamic of what has been in the NFL. You have a group of individuals who are generations removed from these guys that are playing now. And that hurts. And that hurts them, and that hurts the communication aspect of it. So when you have that barrier, it makes it that much harder to be able to relate to them and also coach them. So you just smack a label on them because you're lazy. And I'll call them out each and every day. They're lazy. And that's the thing. You have to put in the work when it comes down to dealing with the athletes in order to be able to bring the best out of them. And I'm not lazy by any means of the word. And that's the thing that, I'm going to be challenging those guys, and I'm going to make them uncomfortable. But at the same time, I'm going to love them up the way they need to be loved up as a big brother. And I'm going to bring them out of these dark places that these guys are in, because I've been there, done that. And until you can really put somebody in the room that has that type of pedigree that I have, you're going to have, years of having to try to rebuild and this vicious cycle. And that's my thing. I don't talk about rebuilding. I'm going to come in and I'm going to build those young men up to the point where they're Super Bowl champions. And that's what we want, and that's what we need, and that's what we deserve in the city of Houston.
Yeah. We got to take a break. I got to come back with you because I just talked about that with our last guest, and you just nailed it on the head here. That's championship mentality right there. That's championship mentality. And it's different. It ain't for everybody. It's an acquired taste. And until you taste it, you don't know how good it is. So we'll be right back right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK. Garrett Jones here with us on Team Texas Tuesday. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Lily. My mom and dad used to fight about money all the time. Then one day, I heard them talking about this guy, some uncle I never knew, called Uncle Sam. Well, they say this Uncle Sam guy wanted them to pay him like $1 gazillion, and they didn't have $1 gazillion. So they called this company they heard on the radio called the Tax Doctor. And the Tax Doctor worked with Uncle Sam's people. I think they're called the IRS. and they're able to work it out so my mom and dad didn't have to pay Uncle Sam very much money at all. So now mom and dad are happy, and I'm happy too. Thanks, Tax Doctor.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, call now and pay less. 800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. That's 800-603-9359. Here's an important COVID-19 school system update for your local area. If you're concerned about your child's education, please pay close attention to this message. The current school systems were not set up for at-home learning. If you're worried that your child may not be getting the grades they need to get ahead, may be losing self-confidence, or you're worried about them getting into a good college because of their grades, help is available to you. Call Grade Potential Tutoring. They can help with in-home or online tutoring and help your child with any subject and every grade level, even for test prep. They're experts in the home tutoring and online tutoring field and confident they can help you and your child get better grades today. Call now for your free consultation. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. 800-580-7680. That's 800-580-7680.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's AJ Jones with the lunch break on the legendary KYOK AM 1140 at 92.3 FM. It's that time of year when we are reminded of all the things we should be thankful for, and that it's more blessed to give than to receive. So with that in mind, on Wednesdays from now through Christmas, we'll give you a chance to win a gift certificate from Butterball. That's right, you can win a gift certificate for a Butterball turkey on Wednesdays on the lunch break between 12 and 2. Just be the right caller, and your Butterball turkey will be on us at the legendary KYOK AM 1140 at 92.3.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson representing a few.
Legendary KYOK 1140 AM and the all-new 92.3 FM, where you will be encouraged, inspired, and ignited to reach your maximum potential in life. Jesus Christ with Shy.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. It is our Team Texas Tuesday. I've got Garrick Jones, played NFL football right here for the Houston Texans, also played at other teams in the league, played up in the CFL, and founded his own league, the SDFL. He's the commissioner and the founder of that, and now he is a legit general manager candidate. Hopefully the Texans will do the right thing and bring him on in. If not, somebody else will. And Garrick, that championship mentality, it's not a rebuild. You know, no sense in speaking that into the atmosphere. It's about building the guys up that you have there and letting them know that championships are possible here, just like Kansas City got one, just like other teams have got. Nobody gave Philly a chance against New England a few years ago, and they got one. So, you know, why not Houston? Why not?
Right. And I'm a why not guy, to be honest with you, man. You have to look at how these teams got to those positions. You know, somebody had to follow some type of a template, and there had to be a standard that was set. You'll start winning when you get fed up. You know, and I'm a firm believer in that. And one of the things that I'll do, you know, when I get in the building, is I'll call a meeting, and I'm going to ask these guys who in this room has won a championship at any level. And once those hands go up, I'll start separating those guys, and I'll put them in a group. And the guys who've never won anything, I'll put those guys in a group. And from there, we'll be looking at those guys that have won championships and say, we're looking to you to help us, because I haven't won a championship. So I want one, and I'm hungry. And that's the deciding factor. There has to be a level of hunger that has to be there, and also a template, if you will, that we will follow. And it's like a business plan, man. Anytime anything is going on, you go back to your business plan and you get back on track. And that will be how we will get to this thing. We have a clear and concise plan. You have somebody who actually made it to the NFL from the trunk of their car. You know, when less than 1% of all athletes across the world make it, I did that. And we're going back in for a second round. So let's do it.
Yeah, man, I love that, bro. I just love that testimony and that story. Let me ask you a question. I also said that, you know, in my house growing up, If you just swept the floor, it wasn't clean.
Right.
If you just picked up the stuff off your bedroom floor and put them in the drawers and under the bed and in the closet, it wasn't clean. Do the Texans need to clean out everything from the previous regime and bring in somebody who's going to clean it up from the inside out, or can you build on somebody else's leftovers?
Well, the people that want to be there will let you know. And the people that don't want to be there will have to go. And that's how it works. You know, when you first come into, you know, whether it be taking over a business, acquiring anything, you know, your vision is going to be different than what they've seen. And people have a tendency of firing themselves. If you have a clear and cut and it's a decisive mode of operation and what's needed in order to be successful, and they're not doing that, they'll fire themselves. And that's clearly what is going on over the last few years. So we know, you know, who we can lose with and who we can win without. And that right there is going to be the deciding factor once I come through the door. They're going to understand exactly what is going to be asked of them. And if they're not ready to accept those challenges, you know, there are other teams out there for them. This won't be the one because there's going to be a level of accountability that has not been seen in that building in a good while once I come through the door. Because I'm going to approach it the same way I would if I was a player. If I don't get the job done as a player, they're going to cut me and somebody else is going to come replace me. So in upper management, it should be the same situation. You should hold yourself to the same accountability that you have your athletes holding themselves to. And that's how it has to be across the board.
Okay. I got another question when we come back. Got a real quick break, and then we'll be right back with Garrett Jones more. If you got questions for him, ask the GM, 281-453-1000. That's 281-453-1000. Texan fans, y'all always coming for me saying I'm a hater. I'm not. I got somebody on here that I think can help fix things. So come on with your questions, 281-453-1000, or text me, 832-403-5005. That's 832-403-5005. It's the lunch break.
Here's an important COVID-19 school system update for your local area. If you're concerned about your child's education, please pay close attention to this message. The current school systems were not set up for at-home learning. If you're worried that your child may not be getting the grades they need to get ahead, maybe losing self-confidence, or you're worried about them getting into a good college because of their grades, help is available to you. Call Greg.
You had the 21st birthday, didn't you, Doc?
Yeah, I did.
For online tutoring and help your child with any subject and every
Got you, brother. You know, I'm the second, so
tutoring and
that's why we
online
click so well.
I know it. Folks don't understand.
Your child
man. It's something special about us, man.
Consultation. 580
Everybody want a good Sagittarius in their life. Everybody.
Oh, man. Come on, man.
7680. 800-580-7680. That's 800-580-7680.
I'm Mayor Sylvester Turner. We need to be mindful of everyone's health and safety when planning family gatherings. Make a plan and share it with your guests. Get tested at one of the many free testing sites within the city. Wear your mask, wash your hands frequently, and social distance, so you can enjoy your time together with peace of mind. Protecting our loved ones is the most important thing for all of us. Mask up, Houston. We're better together.
The legendary KYOK 1140 AM. The legendary KYOK 92.3 FM. Radio stations in one.
The lunch break, where sports are the special of the day on the legendary KYOK.
All right, I'm back with a good dude. I'm back with the man with the plan. I'm telling you, he's the one. He's the one. Texans got sense. They'll bring him on in and let him do it. I'm talking about Garrett Jones, general manager candidate for the Texans and the NFL, former Houston Texans player. Very few general managers can say, I was a player and I know where these guys are coming from. That's a special skill set that a lot of folks don't have. And real quick, let me shout out Mika Diamond. Mika is just a phenomenal young lady, does a lot of amazing work over in the A-Leaf area. I call her the mayor of A-Leaf. Appreciate you dropping in on the lunch break. Shirley Walker King. Thank you, Shirley. with the happy belated birthday love. I appreciate it. And she sent some out to you too, Garrett. She said, happy belated birthday, gentlemen. So
Thank you much.
Garrett, so let's say we bring in Eric Bieniemy. And Eric says, I want to pick my own staff. I want my own offensive coordinator. I want to pick my own defensive coordinator, line coach, running back coach. May I please pick my own staff because I know what I want to do and I know how I want it done. Do you give him that opportunity or do you not?
We would have to meet in the middle. And the reason I would say that is because we're going to build a Super Bowl contender. Okay. And when you have a level of disconnect from the beginning of the relationship where you have everything is fragmented, it's only so far that you're going to be able to go. So we're going to have to build that together. So that would be staff, that would be players. I mean, that's everything. It's going to be a marriage. Like this is us. And I think a lot of people lose sight of how that works when you're talking about building an empire or building, something that's a championship type of caliber. You're going to have all inputs, and there's going to be some button of heads, and there's also going to be some triumphant moments. And those are the things that are going to set you apart from other organizations. So that level of being uncomfortable is going to take us to the next level, and it's going to upgrade the situation, the scenario there. So we're going to have to work together because that's going to be the culture that we're going to have. It's going to be a family type of atmosphere where you have a Deshaun Watson or you have a certain type of player that has demonstrated that they understand the dynamic of championships, teamwork, and family to be able to have their input in what goes in and out as well. Because you want to have that. You got to have that.
Yeah, I'm glad you're sharing this because my thought was you let that coach pick his team. Because, for instance, you offensive line, if he's got a zone blocking scheme and you're a traditional blocking kind of coach, then you might not be able to coach that zone blocking scheme like the head coach wants it, and therefore it kind of holds up the offense a little bit. But what you're saying is you kind of meet in the middle on that. As long as he can coordinate with you and help you understand why you need this, why you need that, then you feel okay of making sure he gets what he needs to get the job done.
Absolutely. That's communication. And that has to be paramount in the building. If you're over there keeping secrets and I'm keeping secrets, we're wasting time, energy, and money. Right. And that's not what I'm coming to do. Right. I'm coming to bring a Super Bowl to the city of Houston. That's it. Nothing else. I'm not coming to say, okay, we're going to rebuild and this is going to be a 4 or 5 year process. If I do that and that fuse is a long fuse, you give everybody in the building the opportunity to say, well, we'll get them next year. Well, we'll get them next year. When you should have a short fuse and it should be a win now mentality. Everybody in the building is being paid for something. So it should be easy for us to come together and put the best product on the field and also have the best product in those offices and those chairs as well. And that's owed to the community of Houston.
I've been saying that since I've been here. They've called me a Texan hater, but the reality is I want more for the city of Houston than they want for themselves.
Absolutely. You get it. You got it. Exactly.
We got
everybody's been complacent with this mediocrity, and we're not doing that anymore.
It don't even taste good in my mouth, and I'm not gonna swallow it, bro. I'm spitting it out. Hello, you're live on the lunch break. Who's this?
Hey, it's Keith Hennig.
Hey, Keith Hennig, caller of the year 2020. What's going on, Doc?
Oh, I'm just watching you guys with great interest. I have a question for Garrett Jones. Garrett,
yes,
if Eric Bieniemy decides to go to Atlanta or the Jets or wherever else he might go, who do you like for head coach?
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a very good question. And I'll tell you how I'm picking my head coaches. Because I'm a former player, as I'm watching their interviews, as I'm watching them maneuver and do what they do and how they call games, if it motivates me and has the hair on my arm standing up, they'll be able to motivate the players that are there. So we have to have coaches and head coaches that will be able to set a fire under these players and a fire under the city with excitement. So Eric would be one of those guys. I like Brian Dable out of Buffalo. I also like Greg Roman. I like Robert Salah. I like Don Wink Martindale. He had a pretty good situation yesterday. They kind of gave up some yards, but the players love him. And Todd Bowles. And then I have a few other guys that I really like, but those are the ones that get my vote because I'm looking at it from a not only a upper management schematic, but from a former player standpoint. And if you can motivate me, I know that you can motivate our players to be greater. And that's what this thing is about.
Right. As GM, are you more offense oriented or are you more defensive mind?
You know what? I think I'm 50-50, to be honest with you. But because of the situation here in Houston, we would be a little more offensive minded. But we would also bring people in the building that have been successful with 3-4 defense. And we bring the right players in that could be, an asset for us. Because as I look at these guys and as I scout these guys, I think back to the guys that I hated playing. And I've seen a few guys that I know would bring a lunch pail to the game. And they would give us that workman's mentality, and that would be infectious, in regards to free agents that are coming out this year. And I kind of put a list out there earlier today for some guys to kind of look at some things. But that's all I'm looking at, man, trying to build around Deshaun and also bring the right people in for defense that can be able to carry us over and help us get to that Super Bowl, by bringing in talent that has been there, done that. And I really want to focus on bringing guys in the room that have had championship caliber types of careers in college and also in the pros in the room, so they can tell us how that looks, tastes, feels, and how it's supposed to be.
Well, I'm an old guy that spent a little time in Tom Landry's locker room and know a little bit about as an observer about what you're doing. You probably, and I mentioned this to AJ yesterday, I think you have 5 or 6 NFL players on that team, and you're going to have to build from scratch. And you've got a huge job, man, huge. And I'm very, very interested in your coaching philosophy and who you like. But I'm also interested in the players that you would like to have playing for you.
Absolutely. No, I tell you what, the players that we bring in the building will be able to help us set this tone because we're going to punch guys in the mouth. We're going to punch teams in the mouth. And we're going to be aggressive. You get paid for a reason. You get paid to perform. We're going to have the right caliber of athlete out there on the field that, is quote unquote dogs. We're going to have some boy dogs out there. It's time for us to have that. And it's time for us to have leadership that can actually be able to relate to a lot of these players. And so like I tell people all the time, I can go to these neighborhoods and feel right at home because that's where I'm from. And the majority of the players that are out there are me. So there's a connect right there that we would be able to now get the best out of these players. And realistically, it's a tough job, but I mean, for me, I love it. I relish in the opportunity. The pressure of everything is something that, I take pride in. I take pride in being the one that says, you know what, I will put myself out there for people to ridicule, for people to critique, for people to doubt, judge, whatever the situation may be, because I've done this before. So that's the mentality, number one, that we're going to establish in regards to a culture that needs to be in the building. And when everybody buys into that, we're going to be tough. We're going to be real tough. And I'm anxious to see it. And that's why I'm fighting as hard as I can to get back into the building because, it's time for us to have that parade, period. Nothing else to be said.
That's what's up.
You're going to eat that elephant one bite at a time like everybody else, but
Yes,
you're going
sir.
to do it quickly. And I'm in your corner 100%. I wish you the best success, and I really, really hope and pray you get this job, man.
I thank you so much for your support, man. I appreciate you, man. I love you. And it's just like all the rest of the fans that are out there, man. You're no longer fans. You guys are family. And this is what this thing is about.
You're all right. AJ, I appreciate the time today, young man.
Well, man, you
Guys,
call
have
it the
a
year
great
2020.
afternoon.
We appreciate you, Keith.
All right. You guys take care.
All right, you too. Keep hitting, y'all. Always a good call. Always a good call. While you guys were talking, it took me back to some things that jumped out at me with the previous regime, general manager and head coach, as well as the guy we talked about over in Jacksonville. It's called a superiority complex, where I'm above you. You can't question me. We're not a family. When I say do it, that's the way. I want it done, to the point where, guys got cussed out on the sidelines, even in New England. He had to get put in his place in New England when Tom Brady was like, "I'm big dog, you little dog. You might be holding the leash, but I'm walking you." And I wonder, Garrick, how do you avoid that superiority complex but still be in charge?
Well, there's a level of respect that has to be in the building. In order to get it, you got to give it. And that's I've been in situations where I was coached by guys who really didn't respect us.
Yeah,
I was a grown man, but you talk to me like I was a child. That doesn't work. That doesn't fly. So I know how that feels because I come from that. So that's the deciding factor. Well, it's a few deciding factors, but that's one of the ones that will set me apart from anybody that they bring into that room. Is because I know what these athletes are going through. I know what they're thinking. I know how they think. And I know in regards to negotiations, restructuring of contracts, the whole nine, nobody teaches them. Nobody exposes them to what this thing looks like and what it will look like to them when they're done. So when it comes down to the superiority complex, that has never been me. I want you to be able to check me if I'm not doing what I'm needing to do, because that's going to be my job for you as well. So it's going to be a level of accountability across the board that has to be seen, that has to be heard, that has to be bought into, that the entire organization has to have. And that's a part of the culture that I bring to the table. So we won't have any of those problems. I can promise you that.
Garrick, I got to tell you, man, I love hearing that. And I believe you because, again, when I look at what you've done, I look at how you've got guys to believe in you on every level. Like you said, you had to get guys believing in you out of the trunk of your car. You had to get guys to believe in you in other cities. You had to get guys to believe in you in a whole nother country. And then you got a bunch of guys to believe in putting their careers in your hands with the SDFL. There's not very many candidates that bring that kind of resume to the table.
All right. And like I say, man, that's a blessing. That's something God gave me. Right. So I feel like it would be a slap in the face to the creator for me not to fight as hard as I am and give back. Because that's the reason why I didn't necessarily go scout for these teams, because I had job offers as soon as I was done playing by every team that I played for. They wanted me to come in and scout and work my way up. But what I looked at was that wasn't working for guys that look like me. Right. These guys spend X amount of years scouting for an organization with just their players. So you put yourself in the box. And I was never meant to be in that box. So that's why I did it globally, started my own league, co-founded that. And then from there said, look, I've been doing these things, and the resume is robust as anybody that you'll bring to the table. Because all I ask for is the opportunity. Just let me get in the room and I'll do the rest. And that's where we are, man. So we're making enough noise. They know we're here. But once I get a chance to get in there, they'll see that we are for real. We are for real.
I'm glad you brought up, for those who are just joining, Garrick Jones, former NFL player with the Houston Texans and other teams, also played in Canada and started the SDFL, commissioner, founder of that, and now a general manager candidate for the Houston Texans and another NFL team. I just had a conversation yesterday. My interns have put together a list of black head coaches in college football.
Right.
Mike Loxley, Maryland. Frank Wilson, McNeese, Mel Tucker, Michigan State, Thomas Hammock, Northern Illinois State, David Shaw, of course, Stanford, Dino Babers, probably in trouble in Syracuse, James Franklin, Penn State, Jay Norville in Nevada, University of Nevada, Reno, of course, Herm Edwards, just lost Lovie Smith as a head coach, just lost Kevin Sumlin as a head coach. That model is not working.
No.
That model is not working.
No.
These guys are not getting the same kind of treatment that Scott Frost is getting up in Nebraska.
Right.
These guys are not getting the same kind of treatment that Cliff Kingsbury got at Texas Tech when he was on his way to be the offensive coordinator at USC and then got a head coach job in the NFL. Joe Judge over in New York Giants. And everybody, oh, yeah, they were right because these guys are doing well, but guess what? Lovie Smith probably ain't going to get another shot in the NFL. They're not going to say, well, he lost at Illinois, but we believe he could be the next head coach of so-and-so.
Right.
Like Garrett, how do we, from where we're sitting, you and me, how do we shift that dynamic? How do we shift that kind of thinking and those opportunities to where everybody's getting a fair chance?
You take the risk. Opportunity is derived from risk. You risk putting yourself out there for the world to see. You risk, months of preparation. You risk, and sacrifice family time. You do everything you can to be the catalyst for this movement. And what I'm doing is going to help that movement. What I'm doing is leading a charge for that shift. And the opportunities that, we have, and they're far and few between, we don't have many. We have to work twice as hard for half of what a lot of these coaches and general managers and those types of things get. And I tell people right now, don't get caught up in the names, because 9 times out of 10, they got that opportunity because of somebody they knew. You need to look at the work. And my thing is, the work will not be denied. At some point, that break will come. And when it comes, I'm not letting it go, because I'm here to open the doors. And when I open the doors, there will be that shift. But, you will see that the people behind me and the people that I've helped, champion their cause and I've helped mentor, these are some of the most brilliant minds in the world that will change your bottom line for the better. Right. Because I know once I walk through the door, I'm going to change your bottom line from the work that I've done while I'm not on your payroll. So it's time. It's time.
Yeah. We got to take one more break, and then I want to ask you about a couple of things from last night.
Okay.
We'll do that when we come back. Garrett Jones right here on the lunch break on the Legendary KYOK. Again, this segment brought to you by the Care Team. If you don't have health insurance, these folks can help you. CareTeamCares.com. That's CareTeamCares.com. We'll hear from them in just a minute right here on the lunch break on the Legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM.
Hi, my name is Lily. My mom and dad used to fight about money all the time. Then one day, I heard them talking about this guy, some uncle I never knew, called Uncle Sam. Well, they say this Uncle Sam guy wanted them to pay him like $1 gazillion, and they didn't have $1 gazillion. So they called this company they heard on the radio called the Tax Doctor. And the Tax Doctor worked with Uncle Sam's people. I think they're called the IRS. And they're able to work it out so my mom and dad didn't have to pay Uncle Sam very much money at all. So now mom and dad are happy, and I'm happy too. Thanks, Tax Doctor.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, call now and pay less. 800-603-9359. 800-603-9359. That's 800-603-9359.
Coronavirus is ravaging our community. Make sure you have health insurance. Let Care Team Insurance assist you with our free medical enrollment assistance program. Call now and see what you qualify for at 281-990-1377. There are over 13 million people without insurance that should qualify for plans starting at $0 to only $50 per month. Care Team has helped thousands of people just like you by providing free enrollment assistance. Don't be taken advantage of by people selling bad or fake insurance. Make sure you have health insurance. Let Care Team Insurance assist you. This is AJ Jones, and KYOK listeners, I want you to call now and see what you qualify for. Plans starting at $0 to only $50 per month at 281-990-1377. That's 281-990-1377. Or visit CareTeamCares.com. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's AJ Jones with the lunch break on the Legendary KYOK AM 1140 and 92.3 FM. It's that time of year when we are reminded of all the things we should be thankful for, and that it's more blessed to give than to receive. So with that in mind, on Wednesdays from now through Christmas, we'll give you a chance to win a gift certificate from Butterball. That's right, you can win a gift certificate for a Butterball turkey on Wednesdays on the lunch break between 12 and 2. Just be the right caller, and your Butterball turkey will be on us at the legendary KYOK AM 1140 at 92.3.
You're listening to 1140 AM and 92.3 FM. The legendary KYOK.
You're listening to The Lunch Break with AJ on the legendary KYOK 1140 AM and 92.3 FM.
All right, y'all, we are back here on the lunch break. Yeah, man, time sure flies when you're having a good discussion with a brother who knows what he's talking about. I got Garrett Jones, former Houston Texans, former NFL player, former CFL player, founder and commissioner of the SDFL, and now a candidate for a GM with the Texans. And hopefully they'll make the right decision. If not, somebody else will. Big Time Floyd, who's a big Cowboy fan, sent a message. He says, hello, Garrick and the Breakers. He says, the question I have is, do the Texans really want to win a Super Bowl or just fine in making money and filling the seats at NRG and having fun tailgating? Cal McNair simply has to put up or continue the con game on the loyal fans. Kind of harsh, but that's how we do it here on the lunch break, Doc.
I'm going to show them how to do both of them. So we're going to change that.
All right. Simple as that.
Simple as that.
We're going to make money and win.
There you go. I know how to do it. I got that. I'm coming with solutions now. I'm not just coming in there with assumptions. These are answers.
Amen. Last night we got to see a brother in action, Andrew Berry. Andrew Berry, the one of only two black GMs in the league right now. His team, the Cleveland Browns, you saw a remarkable improvement in what we've seen from that team and that organization last night. They down 28-14 and, man, not only came back but had the lead and was battling until the end. And, you know, heroics from the reigning league MVP, and it's a different story. So when you see something like that, man, that's probably the game of the year last night. Right. When you see Cleveland sitting at 9-4 and knowing they ain't been 9-0 in decades. When you see something like that, I mean, what do you think? What goes through your mind? And can we see something like that here?
Absolutely. You have to look at the job that Barry's doing out there in Cleveland. You know, he's a brilliant mind. He's analytical. Yeah. I mean, and everything that they're setting up is from a number schematic. And then you think about having the right coaches in tow that can motivate the athletes that have bought into what he's wanting to do. And you start to see those things happening with wins and the losses and those types of things. But you start to see players playing for each other because that's a family. Yeah. And that can happen in anybody's organization if you have the right people in the building. And it's been unfortunate that we have not had the right people in the building. We've had some, but it just a complete package. And your general manager has to be the complete package. He has to be a leader. He has to be a talent evaluator. He has to be analytical. He has to be able to draft. He has to be able to have all these aspects and attributes that he brings to the table. But he's going to hire the people under him that are going to be authoritative figures in those things that will report back to him. So he's going to take all that information and he's going to make the big time decisions when it comes down to it, because he's going to be the face of that factory. And a lot of people don't understand that because they think the GM is supposed to do all those things all at once. You'll go 0-17, 0-16 every year if you're doing all of those things. You have to bring the right people in the building. And they've been doing a really good job of that. And the players have bought in. Once the players buy in, that's a beautiful thing. Now the fans are starting to believe. And once the fans buy in, now you're talking about an unstoppable team, especially when they're at home. And we can have that here. And we will have that here.
Yeah. So Andrew Berry and then Chris Greer down there in Miami.
Yes, sir.
And both teams are making miraculous comebacks. I mean, everybody said that Miami was going to be several years away, and Miami knocking on the door right now.
Right now.
Miami, that final playoff spot right now. Like, if it stopped right now, Miami's in the playoffs. And what they went 1-2 games just a couple of years ago. What are these brothers doing that's not happening in Houston?
It's the passion. It's the plan. It's the fire. You think about the last game that Miami had where the young man He with the roughing with the hit. I'll just call it the hit, right? You have a head coach that is about to come to blows with athletes because he's protecting his player. That type of environment is infectious and it breeds winning. That's a winning mentality. When everybody in that building will pull that tie off and come out there and scrap, that's when you have that winning combination, because it's a family. You take up for your family. No matter what happens, you take up for your family and you protect your family. If you don't have that type of dynamic there, you have a lot of people in the building that are just collecting checks. And it's a lot of people that are in the building that are just collecting checks, players included. And we'll get those guys out of there because they're cancers. But ultimately, they have to have that type of mentality, and that's the mentality that I'll bring to the table, because I'm going to bring the fans with me, and we're going to make this thing right. And you just have to have the right people in the building. But it can happen, man. And when it does, oh man, it's going to be a beautiful thing. I'm so excited for it, and that's why every day I'm grinding as hard as I can, because I see it when other people don't.
Yeah. Garrett Jones is joining us here on the lunch break. Garrett, last question. The Texans have not valued the draft in a while. Like they at least under the last administration, they shipped them draft picks off for like candy. You get a first round, you get a first round, you get a first round. Will you value the draft, or will you try to build it through free agency? What will your philosophy be?
Well, the philosophy for myself is really simple. You're going to use your draft to bring in some jewels. You're going to use the draft to bring in some young, energetic players that are going to be superstars. For us, for where we are right now, we're going to have to tap into more veterans because it's set up like that now. And we're going to need to have a veteran presence in every one of the position rooms. And right now, we don't have that. We may have vets, but they're not the right type of veterans.
Gotcha.
You got to have a winning pedigree. And there are a lot of guys that are going into free agency in 2021 that can very well be in those rooms and that have winning pedigrees and know how to win and will compete and will be able to come in and teach the youngsters how to compete. So when it comes down to where we are in the draft, we're starting in the third and going into the seventh and those types of things, you can find a lot of value. And that's what I tell people a lot of times. When it comes down to getting value out of guys in later rounds, that's not a problem. You think about myself, there was value in me and I wasn't drafted. So I know how to get value and I know what that looks like. And that's the beautiful thing about it. Where we are is we're going to put together a team that can compete and keep us in games. And we're going to bring the guys in that are needed in order to take us over that hump. And we're going to value the draft. If we draft you, we're drafting you to retire a Houston Texan.
Wow. That's something right there, man. I appreciate you making the time on short notice. But it's always a good time when you're here. We always learn a lot. We always get injected with a lot of positivity and fire, man. That fire in you is real. It's contagious, Garrett. So tell everybody where they can find you and follow you, man, and how we can support you.
It's the hashtag GJ4GM. You can put it in your search engines, and you can find me pretty much anywhere on social media. I'm putting all of my information on the petition. You can go to change.org and you can put my name in the search bar and that petition will pop up. I'm just asking people to sign that petition and share it with your networks. Each signature on that petition is a dollar amount that I go in and I talk to Kyle or whatever team that I talk with about that bottom line being able to be changed. And that way, when we go in with the Texans, we can show them how we can change that bottom line and offset some of these COVID losses. And at the same time, show them how we can get this Super Bowl championship to here as well. And it's going to take all of us. It's going to take this village. If you heard anything that I said today that sparked any interest in you, I just ask that you go and sign that petition and share it with your people. So you can go to Google and put the hashtag GJ for GM and everything will pop up, or you can go to change.org and just put my name in the search bar and that petition will pop up.
That's outstanding. I ordered my shirts too. Not one, but a couple of them. So
I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. I still got this other one too, man. So
I should have them in a couple of days, Doc. So I'm looking forward to it, man, because I'm trying to rock the movement, bro. I'm trying please
post it when you get them, man. I'm you guys will be a part of the proposal. that I'll present to the Texans, man. They'll get a chance to see your faces. I'll be talking to a few of you guys offline to help me with that proposal because I'm going to need your voice a little bit, a few other things, man. So we got some things in the works, brother.
Brother, you already know I'm down for whatever, man. If you need me to park cars at the venue, I'm down for whatever, man.
You won't have to. Don't worry about that. We got something else for you, man.
I'm seeing Gary Jones, bro. All right, man. Hey, be safe out there, brother. We'll talk to you again real soon. And thank you again for making time today, G.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Love you, man. Appreciate
you too, man. Love you too. Y'all, that's the man right there. That's the answer. I know they call him Allen Iverson when they say who's the answer, but Gary Jones is the answer for them Houston Texans. I'm telling you, and if they don't come correct, somebody else will, and we'll be talking about him wherever he may be. So thank you again, G. We're going to go ahead and get ready to get out of here. Got to get Sybil Wilkes on with her COVID-19 update. Sybil Wilkes is going to give us that, and then we'll have Donnie McClurkin with the Donnie McClurkin Show, Erica Campbell and Griff in the mornings, and then I'll be back with Winning Wednesday, all that right here on the lunch break. So as always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. You know I love you. There's nothing you can do about it except wear your mask, wash your hands, give everybody 6 feet, and whatever you do when you see that racism, kill it. Not the person, the racism, all right? All right, Sybil Wilkes, take us on out. Here you go. Y'all be blessed.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know today. On the same day, the Electoral College voted and announced that Joe Biden will be the 46th president of the United States. The nation's top lawyer, William Barr, was relieved of his duties by the current president. Biden won the presidency with 306 electoral votes, and William Barr is out as Attorney General of the United States after finding no voter fraud. The General Services Administration is preparing for the Biden family and staff to settle into the White House. The cleaning is especially crucial as coronavirus cases and hospitalizations continue to surge. The first person to receive the COVID-19 vaccine in the U.S. was Sandra Lindsay. The African-American critical care nurse who treats patients in Queens, New York, was vaccinated during a live stream led by Governor Andrew Cuomo Monday morning. What you need to know is brought to you by Black Voters Matter. Join the movement and visit blackvotersmatterfund.org for more information. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.
All right, y'all. I sure hope y'all enjoyed the show. I did, man. I got to tell you, Taylor Graham and Charles Beastmode Brown, loved every bit of them. Y'all be sure and follow them and keep Taylor in your prayers as she is breaking world records. And I mean it. If you want to get your young people involved in powerlifting, or if you yourself want to get involved, Charles Beastmode Brown is the one you want to get in touch with. Even if you're out of the area, he might know somebody in your area. And then whatever you do, keep them in prayer and keep Garrett Jones in prayer. That brother's on a mission. He inspires me every time we connect. And that's why I like to bring him to you, because he is definitely an inspiration. So as always, not this, definitely this. I love y'all.